Oh, hello, folks. Off the beaten trail with Edward again here in Mountain Home Cemetery. Going to go look at Governor Ransom's gravesite. I'm sorry about this little part 2. We had a little technical difficulty, and taking a look at a couple of the other graves that are nearby the governor's grave. Of course, J.J. Perrin, one of the largest obelisks. I think it is the largest obelisk here in the cemetery, one of the two. Down here is Mr. Allen. Owned a huge casket company here in Kalamazoo and sold his caskets worldwide. And he's so well known back in the day that when he passed away, they put a very large ball monument here representing the earth. His caskets could be found throughout the globe. And here you have the Allens. Not far away, of course, you get a better look of the J.J. Perrin obelisk with the sun coming through here. The beautiful sunrise here in Mountain Home. Two young girls that passed away, sisters, Irina and Nettie, very young. Not far away, right over here, we find the monument to Mr. Stockbridge, the Stockbridge family. Famous here in the neighborhood. You hear Stockbridge neighborhood, the street Stockbridge in Kalamazoo. A lot of history there to read. This whole area right here of these marble stones, headstones, to the Woodward family. You know, the Woodward neighborhood and the streets here in Kalamazoo, Woodward. Of course, more history there to go into a little later. I'm going to go right over here to a beautiful setting and visit Governor Ransom. And here he is, E.R. Ephrodius Ransom, 7th governor of the state of Michigan. Beautiful little sunrise coming through here in the background. He had a taller monument. You can see the rock here placed on top of it. It became dislodged and was knocked off. Ephrodius, governor of Michigan, 1848-1850. He died 1859. Of course, we go right back here along the edge of the woods, and see some older graves here. Goes right down over this hill, this embankment, down into a neighborhood, and old graves right here, all along here. very hilly. This little hill, this little valley, I should say, that you see right down here, running up this trace right there, used to be a road. And they closed it years ago. These families that have relatives down here have access to walking down that little valley from parking up here or parking down here and then walking up these hills, but they see very little use. And this is going to be one of our cleaning areas in the springtime. This particular stone right here, I'm going to start with myself and work this little family right here, these veterans. And by May next summer, the Lord wills it, the water don't rise, the radiation doesn't drift this way, if you know what I mean. I hope not. I'll be out here and clean these up. The governor needs a little help too. He has just black biologicals and on his stone, and we'll take care of that in short order. And of course, some of these others here, there used to be an obelisk right here. It's gone. We had a really bad tornado that swept through here in 1980, 79-80, and it damaged a lot of stones, knocked some stones over, some things, and there'd been a little bit of vandalism, but there's a group of ladies and gentlemen that come out here and have these targeted to repair, and that's what they do as soon as the weather breaks. Cleaning and repairing what needs to be cleaned and repaired. It's a little work that we do volunteer. We look at it as being able to help those that cannot help themselves. Their families are long gone, displaced, other countries or other cities, and you know, you forget about people after a while, after 5 or 6 generations, even less than that, sad to say. I know where my great-grandparents are buried, but I don't know where my great-great-grandparents are buried. Something I need to tighten up. Go take another little look here. Another part of the cemetery. I'll be right back. Hey, you can just see the sun peeking through over the treetops here. Over in the northwestern sector of Mountain Home Cemetery. One of the Zinkies right here. Thomas Sherwood. July 15th, 1815, he was born. He died October the 15th, 1887. And these Zinkies continue looking like $1 million. Made out of a zinc alloy. They repel biologicals. They won't grow on them. And so they stay like this. There's a couple more here in this cemetery. Beautiful tree. We'll be right back. Yes, a little view here over the area here of the northwestern part of Mountain Home. We have the The Upjohn monolith is right there. It's quite a finger too, right? Out here about like this. It's right there. Better, right? Those are the smoke plumes in the distance. I should say steam plumes from Graphic Packaging, the paper mill here in town. Right down here we have the Abercrombie obelisk and others. I'm going to take a little ride up here into Jewish Mountain Home. Okay, folks, back with you here. Beautiful part of the cemetery. Everything that you see here to the left and on the hillside right here below me is a private cemetery that is maintained by the Jewish faith here in Kalamazoo, and it is known as Jewish Mountain Home. And they have paved this summer. They planted some new grass. Down here was quite a thicket, and they have come through here and cleaned this all out. It's beautiful, and taken some old trees down. There's some others here that are going to be trimmed a little bit. They did some wonderful work here on the steps leading up to the top access. We'll look at the bottom access in a minute. And of course here in the woods as well and around, it did a really great job. Look at these beautiful steps now. These were some of the older steps. Every time I pass this grave, I can't help but think, or even stop thinking, about Anne Frank. God rest her soul. Another set of steps. There's the Henderson Castle. We're not going to go back here and visit today. I have in an earlier video, right along the sidewalk in the street here is the placard. It's a state historical placard. It's cast iron. They're all over the state for different historical sites. This is of Edward Israel, the 22-year-old U of M grad that was one of the scientists on the first Arctic expedition. And their supply ship went down, and almost all of them perished. And he was a hero, and he's buried. His grave is right there. It's Edward Israel. We'll talk about him later. Going to be doing a little bit more about the history of Mr. Israel. And you see this big old grand oak that stands here beside his grave. That's known as a witness tree, meaning that that tree was there at the time of Edward Israel's internment. Sorry about that. Now from here, Mountain Home Cemetery. from Jewish Mountain Home Cemetery. Henderson Castle. We'll end this video today. If you like my videos, please hit the thumbs up button if you will, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And have a great, peaceful, and happy day.